Trend watchers, take note. I am making a shocking prediction here that I have major mixed feelings about. I think diet culture as we know it is coming to an end. And sure, some may say it's high time, but its replacement may be even more damaging than ever, at least in the wrong hands. Obviously, we're talking about the drug to divide the haze and the weight loss dietitians of the world, Ozempic. As the great Gwen Stefani once said, the recent Oscars event was jokingly described as sponsored by the popular weight loss drug.
When I look around this room, I can't help but wonder, is Ozempic right for me?
There's a whole genre of recipes online now labeled as Ozempic soup or Mangiaro lasagna, and celebrity gossip videos are moving away from feuds and infidelity to speculate on who is secretly taking the drug. But perhaps the most telling clue that dieting is undergoing a mega metamorphosis is the recent Weight Watchers and Ozempic partnership. So let's talk about it. Because as we say, there's a lot here to unpack. Hey everyone, I'm Abbey Sharp. Welcome to Abby's Kitchen. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing my predictions for diets, weight loss, and diet culture at large, thanks in part to this new family of weight loss drugs like Ozempic. But first, please read my disclaimer. This is a very sensitive topic as we will be talking about weight loss and weight loss drugs. So as usual, please feel free to skip this video if it's not supportive to your journey. And if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring that bell so you never miss out on an episode. Let me hop in here super quick to tell you about my sponsor today, Ritual. I've been working with Ritual for a while now because I really can get behind their less is more ethos. They're all about formulating high quality supplements with exactly what you need and none of the window dressings that you don't. I use their essentials for women 18 plus, which is an evidence-based third-party tested multivitamin with key ingredients for supporting brain health, bone health, blood building, and antioxidant support. And when I was pregnant and trying to get pregnant, I exclusively used their essentials prenatal formula. You know I'm really picky when it comes to supplements, but I really like that Ritual is backed by a visible supply chain with rigorous testing for heavy metals, microbes, and allergens. And for folks with sensitive stomachs, especially my moms to be, it has a delayed release capsule that is gentle on the stomach and dissolves in the small intestine where nutrients can be better absorbed. They also have a regular multivitamin for men, a 50 plus option, a postnatal option, and one specifically for teens. But it's super convenient because it's delivered straight to your door, so you don't have to worry about running out, which definitely helps making taking your supplements a big part of your routine. So if you want to try out Ritual for yourself, you can get 20% off of your first month using my code AbbeySharp20. So check out the link in my description to get in on this promo today. Okay, so I recently dove deep into the research on Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro in my video right here. And I gave my semi-controversial, maybe unexpected personal opinions on what's going on. But in short, these new weight loss drugs have become wildly popular thanks in part to social media and celebrities allegedly using them to lose large amounts of weight in a short period of time. These drugs are GLP-1 agonists, which work to significantly suppress appetite, resulting in a 35% reduction in caloric intake without impacting hunger. And they are more efficient than any other weight loss drug before. On average, we're looking at 15% body weight loss for Ozempic and Wegovy, and about 20 to 25% for Mounjaro. So how does that compare with traditional weight loss diets? Well, you've probably heard the popular yet disappointing stat that 95% of diets fail. And while this is based on really bad science and therefore likely inaccurate, as I discussed in detail in my video right here, the reality is that dieting will never compete with a pharmaceutical drug. For some folks with obesity, there are just so many genetic determinants related to reward systems, hunger, and fullness cues, and the propensity to gain weight in today's environment. And this is where our frenemy Weight Watchers comes into play.
You can't sit with us!
Weight Watchers is an OG veteran in the weight loss game. They've been around for 60 years, and as many of you have told me, are responsible for multiple generations of food and body trauma. But they do have a fair bit of research to back up their program. One commonly cited study on 156 adults with obesity found that people on Weight Watchers lost on average 8% of their body weight in 6 months. But 6 months in a specific population and a very small sample size doesn't say a whole lot to me, because who wants to just lose weight for 6 months? The longest term study that I've seen quoted by WW is that 63% of that weight was maintained at 2 years, aka the 8% now becomes 5%, and that only 40% of participants maintained that 5% weight loss at 2 years. Certainly not terrible, but again, most people who continually spend a lot of money on weight loss programs are probably hoping to keep it off for more than 2 years. Now, since its inception, Weight Watchers has always been about losing weight through their own version of calorie counting, aka counting points, plus other defining features like community meetings. But in 2018, Weight Watchers attempted to align with the trend that was moving towards clean eating and detoxing rather than overt calorie restriction and shedding LBs. So they officially changed their name to WW to kind of distance themselves from the dirty D word and align themselves with the new, more trendy wellness community and culture. But if you're a regular follower of Abby's Kitchen, you're surely not fooled by this sneaky marketing trick. And apparently that move wasn't exactly a slam dunk. According to their most recent quarter earnings, they're down 15% from 4.2 million subscribers to 3.5 million from last year's report, and have lost more than $250 million since 2022. Not good. But enter Ozempic and other new injectable weight loss drugs and cue the sharp U-turn in WW's MO. In early March, WW announced that it was acquiring an obesity telehealth subscription service called Sequence that connects patients to doctors who can prescribe weight loss drugs like Ozempic. All you need to do is pay the $99 monthly subscription fee.
That's it. Is very similar to that's all.
Finally, a successful business move. Since its announcement, WW International stock surged 70%, and considering that the demand for these drugs keeps growing, I wouldn't be surprised if their profits follow suit. But is WW just following the money, or are they finally admitting that maybe their program or diets in general don't work as well as they've been sold? WW CEO Seema Sistani described the acquisition as a recognition finally of the fact that there are biological and genetic underpinnings to obesity, and that in some cases, willpower alone is not enough. No Sherlock. Funny how the pendulum swings and the messaging changes so drastically when it becomes convenient for their bottom line. I think that WW saw that between celebrities and influencers, the current messaging is clear as glass. Diets are not cool, and clean eating isn't dramatic enough to yield Oscar-level results.
And the Academy Award for Best Picture.
You're impossible. Clean eating.
This is not a joke.
This is not a joke. I'm afraid they read the wrong thing.
But people still want to lose weight. And these drugs are the most effective tool that we've ever seen. And listen, I'm a business owner myself, so kudos for seeing an opportunity and jumping on it. But this does amplify a lot of the concerns and fears that I mentioned in my last video. Namely, that this is going to put Ozempic in the hands of people who do not need it and for whom may actually be very dangerous. Recently, WW's Dr. Foster preemptively addressed this concern, noting, "We have no interest in prescribing medications to those who are trying to lose 10 pounds for a reunion." Obviously, I appreciate that comment, and I really do hope that is true. But Sequence is a private obesity membership program, and one that is soon to be backed exclusively by a weight loss industry giant. Not the health industry, not medicine, weight loss.
Not me, not Hermione, you!
hard stop. And while I generally have a lot of trust in medical professionals to maintain their oath to do no harm, I can't help but worry that when membership numbers are likely going to depend on people getting access to these drugs amidst continual shortages, that they may feel pressure from higher uppers to overprescribe. Think about it. You've dieted your whole life, chased those last stubborn 20 pounds, and you just have to pay $99 to get your hands on a drug that will finally make it happen more reliably than counting points or going to a community weigh-in. And if you get turned down because you don't have diabetes or obesity, what are you going to do? You're probably going to cancel your membership. Huge trigger warning here, folks who are tempted by disordered eating tips. Please, please, please skip ahead. But I actually went through the onboarding process to see if I qualify, and it basically asked me to self-report my weight, which was very easy to lie about to make my BMI in the obese category. Then I just had to tick off if I had any comorbidities like prediabetes, diabetes, PCOS, or heart disease, which again, you could tick those off even if they weren't true. And the only semi-safeguard in there was that I was asked if I was diagnosed with anorexia or bulimia in the past year. I never went any further than the questions because I don't have US insurance to pay. But if this is the extent of the screening, this is scary. I appreciate the conveniences and accessibility of telehealth, but when it comes to powerful weight loss drugs, I really do worry that an app like this could be easily abused in the wrong hands. So assuming that this partnership does act as a catalyst for major change in the weight loss world, and these drugs eventually do become more accessible, more acceptable, potentially even more commonplace, will we ever see a weight loss diet again? Well, for better or worse, I wouldn't count on it. Diet culture has traditionally and always will be a battle to the badge of moral honor and worth. People will always try to one-up someone else by insisting that they are morally superior because they have more willpower, worked harder in the gym, or said no to delicious pizza more often than someone else. I don't think that this one-upmanship will ever die. Humans will always try to find reasons to be better than someone else.
I'm stronger, I'm smarter, I'm better. I am better!
And if body weight or size no longer can be a determining factor for worth, how one achieved that body will become the point on which people are judged. I always said Gwyneth Paltrow is a perfect example of this one-upmanship. Gwyneth is notorious for her obsession with overpriced, overhyped superfoods, supplements, and pseudoscience products, most of which she sells on her website Goop. And as these foods and supplements have become more accessible, at least to a subset of the wellness-obsessed community, she is pivoted to consuming as little food as possible.
I have bone broth for lunch a lot of the days. For dinner, I try to eat, according to paleo. So lots of vegetables. It's really important for me to support my detox.
The new look of wellness now is to eat basically no actual food because detox, but instead to get your nutrients from an IV drip.
You can always get an IV too, that's very good.
In other words, when too many people can access a non-GMO, whole food, organic diet that clocks in at $100 a day, you gotta up the ante to IV nutrition at $300 a pop. So I do believe that drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy and Mounjaro are going to be life-changing for so many people living with obesity and diabetes. I think the largest diet company's ability to now prescribe it for a monthly fee is a slippery slope for overprescription, abuse, and massive long-term implications for body and nutrition norms. But I would love to hear your thoughts on this partnership and Ozempic in general, so please leave me a comment below. And don't forget to watch my video on Ozempic to get my full take on the benefits of these new classes of drugs, as well as the fears that I have for the future of bodies and health. And on that note, please give this video the thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and I will see you next time on Abby's Kitchen. Bye!